This program contains adult language and situations which may be considered offensive to some viewers and/or children, but more likely their parents.
Alright, kiddies. So, and of course Gravy has to come and join us. Come on, Gravy. Stop doing your little song and dance. Come on, Gravy. Come on. So, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So people have been asking me, people have been trying to get me to clarify this whole judge's order shebang, you know what I mean? People don't understand it. People don't get it. People think I'm talking out of my ass, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to try to explain it, and I want to see if this whole judge's order thing can be overturned somehow. So, as y'all know, when I got out of jail, okay, I spent 28 days in the Erie County Holding Center, which is downtown Buffalo, and on the 28th day, I had to go to court, Cheektowaga Court. I had to see the judge there, and the judge says that, well, my mom got in front of the judge and said, I want him to you know, have some kind of counseling as part of his release. Okay, she got in front of the judge and says, Judge, I want my son to have some kind of counseling as part of his release. So, okay, the judge says, all right, we'll do this. You have to go find a shrink. You have to go see said shrink. And then you have to have him report to me. The judge wants the shrink to report to him. Just to see if I'm in counseling or whatnot. So I found a counselor, and the judge also said that I have to comply with whatever the shrink tells me to do. So if that means any kind of medication, you take it. Okay, do whatever the therapist wants you to do. What, Gravy? So, I found a therapist. Come on, Gravy. I found a therapist. He was a good guy. And first day in therapy, I'm talking, you know, I'm saying what I'm saying, you know, I'm telling him like pretty much my life story from birth to now. And he comes back and says, you know what I think? I think you suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder from dealing with your parents all your life. And you use the YouTube videos as a way to kind of cope with that, to kind of, you know, that's your coping mechanism. You know, And I suggest, this is what he said, I suggest, so this is a suggestion that the therapist is making. I suggest that you stay away from your parents. So, okay, I have to do whatever the therapist suggests to do. So, does that mean that every little thing that he says, I suggest, that does that mean that every little thing he says, I have to comply with? Does that mean, because some of this stuff is kind of, it kind of is unrealistic what he wants me to do. To be honest, like, for example, my whole showdown at the border a couple days ago, at the U.S.-Canada border, that was actually a judge's order. That was actually, no, I shouldn't say judge. That was actually an order from the therapist. Oh yeah, Mike, you go to Toronto. I suggest that you go and have fun. So right there, he's saying, I suggest that you go and have fun. So by me not going, because I was held at the border or whatnot, does that mean I'm not complying with what the shrink says? I don't know. Which in turn means that I'm not complying with the judge's order. I don't know. And he also suggested that I get a girlfriend. Okay, well, that can't be really guaranteed to me, you know, like, I want a girlfriend, okay, fine. But is that really like a realistic thing to do? I mean, some people just can't, you know, some people just don't have the kind of luck with the ladies, you know? So, does that mean if I'm single on June 21st, 2018, then I'll go back to jail? Because my therapist is suggesting that I get a girlfriend, and anything that he suggests, I have to comply with, as per orders of the judge. And the therapist also told me that he also suggested that I go and get my license. Well, if I can't get my license, does that mean I'm in violation? I can't comply with a judge's order. I can't comply with the order from the therapist, which means I'm not complying with the judge's order. So, I mean, he also said to move too. He also said, I suggest you find a new place to live, a place that you're happy. So, if I were to move and the place that I moved to isn't a place where I'm happy, would that mean that I'm not complying with what the therapist tells me? And that you know, in extension, not complying with a judge's order? If I don't move at all, that means I'm not compliant with what the therapist tells me, and therefore I'm not compliant with what the judge's order. So, and this is where it gets a little tricky, because we all know it was intended. Okay? My mom got in front of that judge, and we all knew her intentions. We all know. She wanted me to see a drive-through psychiatrist. That's what I like to call them. Just some guy that you know, you meet up with for like not even 5 minutes, and he hands you a script full of antidepressants and antipsychotics and whatever the fuck else she wants me diagnosed with. And she doesn't want me talking to people. She doesn't want me seeing an actual sit-down therapist like I'm like Tony Soprano or something. No, she wants me to go into a waiting room, sit there, and then a fly-by-night psychiatrist comes into the waiting room, hands me a script and says, "See me in 3 months." That's all she wanted. And the judge is just like, okay, well, just comply with what, we know what they wanted. We know what the intention was. So, because the judge says comply with whatever the shrink says, pretty much if the shrink tells me to, let's say, jump off a bridge, and I don't do that, I'm not in compliance with what the shrink says. Which by proxy, I'm not complying with a judge's order. But in that case, because believe it or not, I'm not just some dumb fucking sheeple that's gonna do whatever someone says. If a shrink tells me to jump off a bridge, I'm not going to. But then I know the risk that I'm taking. I'd rather get charged with a misdemeanor and spend a year in jail than actually go ahead and jump off a bridge and possibly killing myself. I'd rather be in jail than dead. Okay? So, and plus, if I don't comply with an order like that, I could also probably have it fought in court. I'm not saying that my shrink is ever going to say something like that. But we're open. This is a slippery slope here. What if the therapist goes up to me and says, "Hey, Mike, I suggest you go out and, I don't know, rape 1,000 women." And I don't do that. I'm technically in violation of the therapist's order, plus in violation of a judge's order. The judge has the final say on whether or not, I violated that order or not. But I just know that I'm trying to do whatever the shrink says. Okay? I'm not saying that he's gonna say something like that, but I'm just saying, some of the things he's suggesting are a little unrealistic. Well, let's make that clear. I'm not guaranteed to be moved out of here by next year. Okay? I'm not guaranteed that I have a girlfriend by next year. I'm not guaranteed that I'm going to get my driver's license by next year. And I think with Toronto, I think it all depends on what border pig of the day is going to do a background check on me. You see what I'm saying here? So, it's unrealistic, yes. So, I want to know if there's any way to get that judge's order removed where I have to comply with whatever a shrink says. And I'm already having people tell me that I'm taking this whole thing way too literally. Okay? And what do I have to say about that? Well, I have to say that it wouldn't, if the shrink says, oh, you have to take this medication, I suggest that you take this medication. Would that be, would anybody actually say, if he said that, would anybody actually sit there and say, oh, no, we're taking this a little too literally with the medication? No! My parents would never think that. My parents would be like, okay, get a girlfriend, whatever, literally. You know, Toronto, oh yeah, that's literal, you're taking it too literal. Driver's license, yeah, you're taking it too literally. Medication, yes, that's what we need. Slippery slope here, people. If we can sit there and ignore everything that the shrink says and then just pick at what we want, let's say, oh yeah, you can ignore the whole girlfriend order, you can ignore the whole Toronto order, but if he tells you to take medication, then you must comply or die. Slippery slope here, folks. That's why I want this overturned. You can even word it a little differently. You can word the order a little differently. You know, who's actually to say that whenever, like if I can't go to Toronto or something, who's actually to say that I'm breaking, I'm violating the order put on me by my therapist, and thus the judge's order? Who's to say that? You know, do I think I'm taking it literally? I don't know. I'm taking it a little cautiously because I don't want to go to jail again. So, I mean, I guess I'm just doing what the judge told me to do. You know, I'm doing what the judge told me to do, which was do whatever the therapist tells me to do. So, and I'm fully aware, too, that the intention was that the therapist would come around and say, hey, you need this medication, and then I would have to comply with that. You know, but sometimes it just doesn't go that way. Sometimes you just have to, you know, sometimes you have to just do what they say. You know, if my shrink feels that me doing other activities would be better for me than some stupid ass fucking fake pill, then that's what he's suggesting. Okay? And let's face it, my mom doesn't have a medical license anymore. You know, she can't say anything. She's retired. And she didn't have a license in she didn't have a degree in psychology either. Okay. My mom was I don't know, what was she again? An RN or an LPN? I don't even know. But you know what they are? They're glorified CNAs. That's all they are. Not even like doctors or. She's a professional asswipe. That's what she is. She wipes asses for a living. Or she did. And if anybody needs a shrink, it's my mom. Now, somebody on YouTube told me, pointing out the fact that I have the Davis blood running through me or something. So, anything I say, I can be a delusional of myself. Or whatever he said. Which is true, because it seems like everybody on that Davis side of the family likes to lie, likes to make up shit. Okay? It's like sociopaths breed sociopaths, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest. I think I'm heading down that path of being a sociopath. In turn, I am heading down the sociopath. You see what I did there? But I'm like one of those guys that don't know how to do it right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Because let's see. My Uncle Scott does it. My Uncle Scott lies, cheats, steals, manipulates, you know. Beats his girlfriends. So, I don't know. Let's look at my Uncle Mark. He's like the king of the sociopaths of the Davis family. He lies. And nobody knows what he is. Nobody knows anything about him. Other than he has a lot of money and somehow sucked dick all the way up, sucked the corporate dick all the way up. But nobody knows what he is. Nobody knows what he's about. Okay? And yeah, it's not any I'll say it too. Not really anyone's business. Okay? Mike. Brady, stop. Like if my Uncle Mark was gay, it wouldn't really be. I wouldn't be like. I wouldn't treat him any different. You know, he's an asshole now. And if he was gay, he'd be an asshole fucking another asshole. That's it. I don't really care if he's gay, or straight, or bi. Nobody knows this, not even my mom, who's close with him. Nobody knows. But here's what we do know, is that he makes all kinds of money, but he lives in Lovejoy. He lives in Lovejoy, and he lives in a 10 grand house. And let's see. He has all this money, but it's like he has all this money, but he has nothing to show for it. Except he can whip out his fucking bank statement and say, look at all this money that I have in my bank. Just sitting there collecting dust. See all that money? Just gonna sit there, collect dust. It's like, I never understood people like that. Like, you have all this money. There's like over $1 million in the bank. But what does he show for it? I'm gonna fuck with that. Hey, Lon, what the fuck was that noise? I'm supposed to be meeting Azima today because she's supposed to be in Buffalo. Oh, okay. So that's why I'm on standby. She's supposed to be in Buffalo today. Oh my god. Oh my god. So he has nothing to show for it. My uncle has nothing to show for his money. It's like, It's like we could sit here and wonder if he even has all that money or not. You know? Because he won't tell us specific numbers. It's like, I don't get it. I never understood people like that. But why would, hold on. It's like, why would, you know, why would you even want to like save all kinds of money in a bank account until you die? That always made no sense to me. It's like, okay, you have all this money, but you're not going to spend a dime of it. Pretty much saving until his funeral. You know, when he dies, that better be the biggest, best fucking funeral I've ever been to. For all the money he's putting away, fuck, I expect a band to be playing at his funeral. I expect to see Rush at his funeral. I expect to see Emerson, Lake, and Palmer at his fucking funeral. You know? I expect to see Jethro fucking Tull at his funeral. But it's like we don't know anything about him. He says that he has all these friends, and yet he does, like, I was over there. I would go over to his house for a few years, and not once has that phone rang for him. Once in a while, it would be someone like my mom or the boy, or, you know, my Aunt Marianne or something, because she can't get out of the fucking bed or something. But it's never been like, he's never actually had a phone call while I was there. We've never seen him with any friends. Never saw him with a girlfriend. Never seen him with a boyfriend. You know? Nothing. We don't know what this guy's all about. But we respect him because he has money. We don't know what he does outside of work. He can be a big fucking serial killer for all I know. You know? So, I don't know. I mean, it's possible. He's always using violence and intimidation to get what he wants. You know, we saw that. We saw that. We saw that when he threatened Brandy. Oh yeah, what's her name and address? I'll take care of her. On top of that, he's always making other people feel like shit by downplaying their problems. Oh, I think they're making up that somebody's bothering you in the neighborhood by putting up shit on a utility pole. I think you're making that up. That's blaming the victim. You know, how about instead of teaching me how to fight, you teach these people that bother me not to fucking bother me. So, he's a sociopath. My mom is a sociopath, and so is Uncle Scott. My grandma, I don't know. She's dead. But from what everyone else told me, she was the same way. Grandfather, I don't know. Now let's get to the other side of the family, the Constantinos. My dad's side. My dad's side of the family, well, they're not without issues themselves. Pedophilia runs in my dad's side of the family. My dad had an uncle who was a pedophile. This was back in, like, I don't know, 60s or so. They took his ass and they locked him up. Died in a fucking nut house. So, pedophilia is a big thing in my dad's side of the family. And that runs in families too. So that runs in the family. It's apparent when you see my dad and he's watching Hannah Montana or iCarly or some bullshit. Or Lizzie McGuire or whatever the fuck he watches. He watches that shit. And he makes lewd comments about the actresses in the show. It's a little weird to hear a grown-ass 60-year-old man saying that a 13, 14, 15-year-old girl is hot. That's a hot little girl. It's weird to hear him say that a girl that age is jailbait. You know? I don't know what he does when he watches these shows. You know? I don't know. Maybe he's jerking off. I don't know. He's jerking off. I don't know. Why does he sit there and watch TV with a big blanket over him? It's not so that he can hide the cat under there. Which, wait a second. Why is he having the cat lay under the blanket with him? I know, I'm just joking. We all know that Stewie likes to get under blankets. Alright? So it's like 90 degrees out and he has a big fucking blanket over him. Watching TV. Why? Is it that, I don't know, jerking off under the blanket? What? But let's, truth be told, he is watching these shows. He is watching these shows, and he is making lewd comments about them. And one of his uncles was a pedophile. Apparently he was more than a pedophile. He was having sex with little kids. That's my family. That's not me. You know, quote fucking Michael Corleone. That's not my family. That's not me. That's my family. You know, I'm not the big mafia guy, but you know, that's what my family does. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that my dad is at least looking at Hannah Montana and probably jerking off. I'm not saying he's going out and cruising the playground, but he does have his issues. And one of those issues is in the little girls. You know? And then you gotta sit there and think too. You have to sit there and think, well, you know, why is all his family on his side, why is there a lot of like little kids in the family? And there's not a lot of little kids on my mom's side of the family. And it's not like it's not like my mom's side of the family. Like, it's a smaller family, sure, but it's not like all the women born on my mom's side of the family just decide to stop having kids. Really, I mean, it's not like they're unable to have kids. I don't think. You know, you have to look at it like this. Every time I go to like a Christmas thing, it's either like one of my cousins or like my aunt or something like that. There's always, oh shit, there's always like 2-3 kids that I don't even fucking recognize because they're just keep on making fucking babies, or they're adopting babies, or they're doing whatever the fuck that they do. You know, every time I'm like, where did this kid come from? Where did that kid come from? You know, like my cousin, my cousin Maria, well, the last Christmas, she couldn't even be at Christmas because she was having a fucking baby. Everyone's having a fucking baby. You know? And then you gotta wonder yourself, why are all these people just making fucking babies? It's like, you have my dad's side who's full of fucking people. You know, they're just like it gets to the point where they're making babies. We can't even keep track of who's who anymore. Every time I go there, there's like 3 more fucking kids that I don't even know who. You know? And it's just happening so goddamn fast that you can't even keep up with it all. I'm not mocking them for it, I'm just saying, it's like I can't keep up with whose baby's who. You know? And then there's a thing where it's like some of them are grown up, and it's like you don't even know who this kid is because they're so grown up and they look so different. The only one that's not fucking making babies yet is my younger cousin Marissa. She's not making fucking babies. And you know what? My dad's family, her age, she should have like 5 kids by now. You know, but I don't know. That's her decision. I don't give a shit. But I'm just saying, pedophilia runs through the family. And if my dad is into that shit, people have to be warned. Okay, people have to be warned. There's little kids running around that place, running around that whole side of the family, and the reason the Davises aren't making babies is because because sociopaths can't hold down regular fucking relationships. You know, this is why Mark doesn't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever friend he wants. Because he simply cannot get along with people that are in the norms of society. Okay? And I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I'll admit it. I do not follow the norms of society. And you know what? I'm A-okay with that. You know, I am kind of okay with that. Not everybody has to be the same kind of person. And I try not to, you know, fuck with people, so to speak. I try not to fuck with people. And yeah, you can say, oh, you fuck with somebody when you got arrested. I'm like, okay, you got me there. You know, my whole intention was to protect the daughter. Okay, that was the whole fucking point of it. Okay? I saw a problem in progress, and I tried to report it. And I got in trouble for it. So, that goes to teach you that you don't report, you know. I was at the fucking Galleria Mall yesterday, and near the doors, there's a sign that says, there's like a thing on the door that says, if you see something, say something. And I actually took a picture of it, because I'm planning on making a fucking graphic out of that. You see something, say something. I should make a graphic out of it right now. If you see something, say something. Because I want to put that sign on the top, and then a picture of my mug shot on the bottom. And then over the mug shot, it'll say like, I did, or something like that. So let's go find that picture. Hold on, I can find it in a couple minutes. Just give me a second. Hold on. Hold up. It'll take me a little bit to find this. Hold up. Hold on, let me find it. Come on, why is this taking so long? So, the point I'm trying to make with this whole judge order thing is this like Gravy, come here. So, am I actually supposed to comply with every little single order, or am I just supposed, to, you know, comply when when the order is all about medication? Is that how it works? Is that how it's supposed to be? Oh yeah. You can comply. You don't have to comply with anything unless it's the medication. Yeah, I don't know. Come on, where is it? Alright, so I got the picture. So here we go. I'm gonna construct the picture now. So let's see. We're gonna pull up the GIMP, which is it's like a bootleg Photoshop. Ow. This GIMP program takes a while to load, because it pretty much is just a bootleg Photoshop. Oh, God. Well, now it looks like there's something wrong with my printer. Cartridge problem. Well, at least it tells me that the Scion ink cartridge is the problem. I just bought new ink cartridges yesterday. Alright, well, that's what I gotta talk about was the judge's order. I'm Dragon Lord Frodo, and I approve this message. Thanks in advance for watching this.